What's going on, my friends? And welcome back to another episode of Kerm Arts, baby. Torch Tuesdays has returned. Let me do a little mic check 1, 2 real quick. Make sure everything's all right. Hold on. 2 seconds. Fingers crossed the sound is already on. Might be muted. It likes to do that to me for whatever reason. So let me just check. Oh, I gotta add of myself on myself. Unfortunate. All right. See if it's good. Add of myself on myself. Perfect. Nice. All right. Super cool. Perfect. Nice. All right. Super cool. All right. Let's give it a little check. Give it a little tester. Give it a little check. Give it a little tester. Oh, a little crackly. Hold on. Turn it down a winks. All right. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1, 2. All right. Mic check. Mic check. Mic check 1, 2. Cool. That should be good. Sweet. All right. Just making sure audio was all good to go. Hopefully it's not too crackly either. I just kind of gave it a little tester. Let's, sorry about the echo as well. I just want to make sure everything's good. Sorry about the echo as well. I just want to make sure everything's good. All right. Looks good. Sounds good. Feel good. Something else. So, what's going on, my friends? If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're not, welcome back. Torch Tuesdays have returned, baby. That's right. That's right. It's been about a month and a half, maybe even 2. And we're back in the studio, getting it done. Gonna make some cool things today. What's going on, stepping mate? I'm not muted, right? I just checked. There's been a good few of the Torch Tuesdays where I'm just insta-muted off the bat for no reason. And that sucks. But I checked it on here, and it should be good. Shoosh! Anyway, I hope everyone's having a rad day. We're going to jump into some glass blowing, baby. So for anyone that doesn't know, I am a glass artiste. And I make a lot of different stuff, mostly sculptural based. Hopefully this isn't too loud either. Appreciate you, buddy. I'm glad you can hear me. Let's see if the music's all right. I can't really tell. Let me know if it's too loud or not, steppin' mate. But yeah, we're in the studio today. So I just ordered some new color, and it's actually going to arrive tomorrow. But today we're going to be working with what we got. Limited supplies in the studio, unfortunately. But we got a few scraps. We got a few bits and bobs. A few things I can work with and make it happen. Also, a couple projects in mind. We got to repair the poor Cobra skeleton, man. We got to try to put this bad boy back together. So I'm going to be working on a few different things. I think try to put this together. And a few other side projects. Maybe I'll do a little warm-up, something simple, and kind of just produce something. Sounds good to you? You're just lagging because you're at work? Ah, no worries, man. No worries, buddy. Thanks for tuning in at work, man. It means a lot. 100%. Yeah, but kind of limited on supplies, unfortunately. Gotta pour some water into my water bowl. It was empty, plumb out. Now I gotta refill this, damn it. But yeah, kind of limited on supplies. So we're gonna work with what I've got at the moment. But I do have some new color, and it should arrive tomorrow. So Torch Tuesdays will be back in full effect. I'm thinking we're going to do Torch Tuesdays, Torch Thursdays, and potentially Molten Mondays. Maybe 3 glass blowing streams a week, and then also a couple game streams speckled on in there as well, of course. But yeah, I want to get back to primarily doing a lot more glass blowing streams. So I'm excited for the color to show up since I am limited on supplies. And the weather is pretty cold today. I almost canceled since my color was supposed to show up tomorrow, and it's like 40 something degrees right now. But I got the hoodie on. The kiln's hot. The torch is going to be hot. Should keep me warm, and should be no problem. And we'll have some new supplies tomorrow to make all sorts of new ideas with. But today, as I said, we're just going to be working with what we got and try to make a few cool things and potentially repair the Cobra skeleton and get that back in action, because that was the long ongoing project that I had. We need a clear purple tinted Susano. I could totally make that. I made a Susano like ages ago. It was pretty cool. It's one of the first cool things I sculpted, I think. You love these streams? You can just glance over and see the action. Hey, no worries, man. Understand you're at work. Gotta keep the kerm tucked under the rug, if you will. All right. I wonder if I should refill my water now or just do it in a little bit. I'll do it in a little bit since I utilized it. So, for anyone that is wondering what the water's for, I have a little metal bowl down here. So when you pick off any scrap glass or anything you don't need, any excess, right into the water bowl is what that's utilized for. Purple is your favorite color for sure. Well, hey man, check this out. Maybe I'll make something purple today for you, big boss. I've got a little chunk of one of my favorite purples. It's called Stargazer, and it's a super cool, like, deep purple with a little bit of, it's hard to see with the way the lighting's facing, but it's got a little bit of kind of smokiness in it, which is awesome. I love that color. Super nice. Okay, let's get down to brass tacks, as it were. I'm going to turn my gases on, fire up the torch. We're going to get rocking and rolling. So these glass torches run off oxygen and propane. So I'm going to pop those on, and she'll be ready to rip. All right. Oxygen is online. Looks super cool. Yeah, man. I'll try to make something with that purple for you today. It's going to be probably something small, since I don't have a ton of it. But I think I'm going to be doing a couple just easy, quick projects for today's stream, and simultaneously trying to repair the Cobra skeleton if possible. That's going to take up a lot of room in the kiln though. So we're going to start with a warm-up project. All right, let's turn this propane on. Ooh, old man knees kicking in. Yeah, so another thing, I mean, you guys can still rock the channel redeems. if you want, but a couple of them I can't do the direct soundboard stuff, so I'll just have to improvise. Also, TTS will not be available at the current time, but I mean, if you want to throw in some bits, feel free. Okay, let me open the door up a little bit, get some cross breeze going. Cool. Righto. Cut on. Hey. All right, gotta rock my goggles. Don't worry, I'm not tunneling to the center of the earth. Glass blowing requires titanium glasses to protect your eyes from the flare that comes off. Sorry if the mic gets a little too close when I crouch, lean over like that. Hopefully it's not super crackly or anything. I tried to turn it down and adjust the levels of it. Oh, sometimes that happens too. There we are. There we are. All right, hold up. I gotta go super low because I think since I haven't cracked it on in a while, it was just a little too high output. There we go. Honestly, perfect. Oh, with the sound, appreciate you, buddy. Preach. That's always something when I start these streams. I'm like, I hope everything is okay on the other side of things. Oh, that purple I just showed you too. I have a little bit right here as well, but this is a bit of hollow tubing. So you know what? I think what I'm going to start off with, provided I have enough. Yeah, that's a good little bit. I'm going to go super simple. And since Christmas is kind of sneaking up right around the corner, I'm going to make a little Christmas ornament to warm up with. Also, this is a blow hose. I attach it to the end of the tubing, and then I can puff air into it. Which you can do it at the end of the rod too, just by holding it. But this allows you to look at what you're doing at the same time. So it's super handy. I mean, it's a little warmer in the studio than I expected with the current temps. All right, just gonna wipe this off. So in the kiln, it gets a tiny bit of dust on it sometimes, so you gotta wipe it off with a little bit of cardboard or something. Bet you don't dab anymore. Oh yeah, man, I could totally make you something, but whatever you want, just let me know. All right, so we're gonna take this bit of tubing of that purple I just showed you. It's called Stargazer. We're gonna get it nice and toasty hot and condense it back down into like a bubble shape, because we're gonna make a little Christmas ornament to start off with. Get a nice warm up, and literally warm up with how hot the torch will be. And it's been like a month and a half since I did the last Torch Tuesday, so I don't want to be super rusty or anything. Gotta knock the rust off. So we're just gonna take this down notch by notch, piece by piece. it has some indentions, has some lines in it already, because the original intention for this was to make a kind of a spine. So it's got some spine lines. So we got a nice little start up here. Just some super hot molten glass. You just got the full BOFA and the recolored armor, baby. Nice, dude. Heck yeah, buddy. Proud of you, mate. That's awesome. Hells yeah. You'll have to put it to the test real soon. We gotta go back to TOA. Back to the pyramids. All right, so essentially just gonna keep condensing this back down until it gets thicker, and then puff a little air into it and blow it into a spherical shape. So if you see the end here, I'm already trying to keep that shape as I condense it back down, but I need a little more material as I go along. So I'm gonna keep that hot, keep it moving. Hells yeah, buddy. Nah, that's so rad. I'm excited to see what you do with it. It's definitely something I need to work on myself. I should just do Vorkath for like 2 weeks straight and try to get the GP for it. Can I make some neon glass tubes? Oh, do you mean like with the... Do you mean like UV colored? I have some of that. But if you mean like the actual like neon light, you have to fill it with some kind of, I don't know, gas or whatever stuff. I don't have the equipment for that one. But I could do UV glass and have kind of a similar effect if you have a black light. That stuff's pretty cool. All right, so still condensing this down. I'm going to leave a little bit on the end just to keep it so I don't, like when I pull off the end, I don't want to lose any of the color. Since the handle's clear, I want to keep that intact as much as possible. So I'm going to just keep pulling this back till it's the right shape. Super toasty hot. Then we're going to puff into it and expand it. All right, starting to get around the shape I want. Like the green UV glass, that's kind of hard to get that stuff anymore, man. They had one color, and it's kind of just gone out of stock in a lot of places. They have yellow, they have red, they have blue UV glass. Blow harder. What up, Rios, mate? How you doing, boss? Good to see you, buddy. Oh, I will. I'm going to be puffing away. So I'm going to use the little tool here that has a small morpher pad on it, and I'm going to neck down the end. I almost put that in my mouth. I kind of did. Okay. So I'm going to shrink down this end to get more of the shape I want, because when I pull it off, I want it to be still quite spherical. The spherical miracle. And then it's just going to be a small little Christmas ornament out of that purple. All right, I'm going to puff a decent bit of air into it, since I want it thinner. With ornaments, you can go a little thinner than usual because you want them larger. And the reason you want other things to be thicker and more evenly walled is structural integrity. The green back in the day, yeah, it is. It's there's this one color. It's called Illuminati, which was a green that was widely available, and now it's kind of gone, almost gone extinct. So this is what we got so far. Nice little purple ball. Oh, Rios, Mr. Steppen just got his full Bofa and crystal armor in commish. So, GG's to the man. Oh, you got the structural integrity, boss. But yeah, I'm going to make it a little thinner because it doesn't need to be crazy thick. It can be a little more loosey-goosey. All right, so I'm going to condense the whole thing down back one more time and then give it a puff. And it should be about donezo. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, we gotta do a run. I think I'm gonna do a game stream tomorrow, so we can potentially do that on the morrow. All right, check it out. You got a nice little purple sphere. You start doing 150s. Yeah, man. I mean, just take it easy. You'll definitely be more locked in with the Bofa, but if you need to go lower invos and just get the mechanics down, hey, not a problem. We all started somewhere. And as far as 150 solos, that's about it's about the max I could do just with my current gear setup. The DPS is too slow. All right, actually, hold on. I'm gonna give it one more little puff, maybe, just around the sides. It's pretty much what I want, but these sidewalls caved in just a tiny bit, and it's not as spherical miracle as I intended. I'm just going to give it a quick little heat, puff it out. All right, cool. So now I've got this. Nice little sphere. Should make a good early Christmas ornament. And all I'm going to do now is I'm going to attach to the other side. I'm going to cut off the loose end. And then we're going to make a little loop to be able to hang on the Christmas tree. Oh, definitely, man. Practice makes perfect with those things. 100%. You just gotta keep running it till you're comfortable, and then add invocations as you feel ready to do so. You know, that's what I do like about it. Like you can pick your order of bosses, and you can increase difficulty as you ramp up on things. Okay, so what I need to do now is I gotta take some of the other purple, stretch it out a little bit, and connect it up to the top. What up, Big Moist? Big Moist in the house? Hells yeah, Big Moist and Steppin'. How are we doing? Bosses? Champions? Did you hear the good news? The boy done did it. He got his crystal. The full crystal setup. Okay, so we're gonna finish off this ornament. What I need to do is I gotta grab a little handle. We're just gonna use this, even though it already has some color on the end. Get that rocking and a rolling. The man, the myth, the Moisty. How you doing though, buddy? How we feeling today, gents? Ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to take that little scramper off. And I got to be careful. So I got to take a small little schmeckle of this purple and connect it up so I have the same color to hold on to the ornament with. We got to get in close quarters here. Bang! All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Rios, if you're there still, we gotta do I think we gotta do a little TOA stream tomorrow to break in Mr. Steppin's new gear. Get him TOA certified. All right, so I connected this end bit up, So I have a tiny bit of that purple on the handle, and I can utilize that to grab onto what we just made and attach the loop. And then pretty much it'll be donezo. Oh, is it? Okay. Nice. The old dungeon for the shards, eh? Good to know, good to know. Good to know, brother. Alright, so I'm going to condense this little bit of purple back for some stability. Make sure it's fluidly sealed on. Then I'm going to just let it hang. Let it dangle. I'm going to take a small bit of 4mm as well. I'm going to pull it down just a touch. Give it the old stretch. Nice. Then boom. Check this out. Hold on. I can just tap that bit of clear off. And we got exactly what we want. So yeah, since I'm using that purple, I want the same purple to attach to what I just made with, right? So we're going to set this down, save it for later, and then we're going to grab another bit of clear, and connect up a larger little chunky monkey of the purple and pull it out. What up, Mega Man? How you doing, boss? Appreciate you, buddy. Okay. Let's go. Let me find a good little schmeckle of clear to handle this up too. That's too thick. That's almost good. I don't need anything crazy. Just a little chunker. That should be fine. Ah, yes. Torch Tuesdays are back. And I'm going to try to keep them consistent, even with winter encroaching and the weather cooling off. I'm going to try to jump in the studio. It's actually not even that bad. I looked at the temp and I was like, ugh, 40 degrees. Might be too cold to do a glass blowing stream. It's really not bad. I almost want to even take my hoodie off. Like, it depends what I'm doing, right? All right, now we're going to just attach these two together. I have to do just a quick and dirty seal. So I got limited wiggle room to work with. All right, got that attached up. Now we're going to heat this and pull it out to an even shape, an even taper. I smelled something weird. What up, Doke? How you doing, boss? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope everyone's doing well on this fine eve. Greens? What do you mean? I'm using purple right now. Purple. Maybe at some point. I've ordered some color and it's expected to show up tomorrow. So that would be a fun little idea. All right, so I'm going to heat this up, get it nice and evenly hot. I'm going to take this little bit of 4 mil and I'm going to pull it out into an even, thinner version of the rod or the little chunk it's in right now. Connect up with that. And then give it the old slow pull. So the back is still a little bit thicker. Gonna reheat that one more time. Let gravity do its thing. And then give it a tug. So when you're pulling out a piece of glass that's not as even as like a rod would be, you've got to just adjust and go with the motions and kind of reheat the areas to get it as even as possible. So that's looking pretty good. I'm going to heat the bottom up one more time. Try to give it a little more lengthwise. There we go. Now we're cooking. So you want to do a wide, kind of bushy flame so you can heat a wider portion of the glass, right? Cool, that's looking good. Then once again, tap the end off, tap that. Go in with a smaller flame and just take that little excess bit off. Into the water bowl, and boom, we've got a nice little straight shot that we can use for the loop on this Christmas ornament. A nice early season gift. All right, so the next step in the process, I'm going to connect up to the back of the handle. We're going to pull off the rest of the tubing, and then I'm going to add that part we just pulled out as a little loop-de-loop on the top, so you're able to use it as intended, right? Hang it on the Christmas tree, rocking around the Christmas kerm. So just do a little seal. Make sure everything's on axis as much as possible. Then I'm going to actually grab my blow hose. I'm going to get this super thin and then puff out just a tiny bit, depending on if I need to or not. So we can take the clear edge off, right? Also going to condense it back in just a touch So this glass is going to fold in on itself a little bit, shrink up that whole sort of area. See how it's kind of just closing in on itself. It'd be nice if I had a little more material to work with, because it's quite thin at the end, but I sort of just didn't have enough color. If I did, I would have popped a hole in the bottom side and then reconnected to the bottom, added some more color on top, and then puffed it out again, so it's a little more even on both sides. But I had limited color to work with. The blower is in. What up, Luke? How you doing, buddy? You finally made it to a Kerm Glass stream, buddy. All right, so we're just going to keep heating that up and pull it off to a little point. The blower is in the building. How do I talk while blowing? It's a difficult thing. The blow hose helps a good amount. So what I'm going to have to do, since when you have two things sealed up as once, it's going to want to cave in, and we don't want that. So I'm going to try to pull this out really quick because it's already starting to sink in just with the pressure of things. I should have puffed it out a little more instead of pulling it into a solid, but we got it. Because yeah, with the pressure, it causes it to almost implode on itself. So we're gonna have to just pull it out, kind of crunch it off, and create a hole. And also it's thin, so I don't want to. Hold up. I got it. We got it, team. There we go. Just created a hole, pull out that thin glass, and then boom, we got a nice little opening. But yeah, how I can talk with the blowing is I got this fancy piece of equipment. You connect it to the end of the tubing, and you can puff into it as needed. Good to see you though, buddy. How you doing today, my man? All right, so we're gonna get this edge. We're gonna try to remove all this clear bit of glass as much as possible. Tap the excess into the water bowl. The heat doesn't transfer. Nah, it doesn't go. It pretty much won't go past around that kind of mark. So it's not, glass isn't a fantastic insulator. So you can work with it. All right, just gonna keep picking off this excess clear that was left from the handle. And then we pretty much got a little Christmas ornament here, ready for the family tree. The hole's a little bit larger though. Large holes, smaller shovel, smaller hole. All right, so we got pretty much all that clear off. You're wrecked, but you're resting up. Aye, well, that's good, man. Yep, yep. I've had a few burns over the time. Nothing too major, though. Nothing crazy. Sometimes it'll just be something stupid, right? Like, especially this. Sometimes I'll get my mini torch super hot, and I'll pop it on for an example. So I'll have this on, and I'll be working with something, and then I'll set it down on my bench, and then I'll go to like grab something or press something down, and I'll just like that hot tip on the wrist. But nothing too crazy. I did kind of splash my thumb one time in the flame, but I haven't had any major injuries. Yeah, it would be nice if I had a little more of this purple to work with to kind of close the gap here. But it'll still be a pretty cool ornament. It almost just looks like a damn apple now with the hole. Just the tip, boys. Just the tip. Just a little hot tip, a little warm tip. Never hurt no one. Well, I mean, sometimes it does. Too quick with it. You stole the joke. You know what I can do though that might help? I can add a little bit of this if I get it hot enough around the rim. Oh man, tips and rims. What are we doing? What is this? It's supposed to be a nice, wholesome glass stream. We got warm tips. We're rimming glass. Blowing on shit. Settle down. All right, no, this rimmer is actually working quite well. I don't want to close it back up though. So I'm gonna pinch. Take a little pinch. What got me into blowing glass originally? There was this movie on Netflix called, I think it was called Degenerate Art, and it was about like, it was mostly just pipe making culture and other stuff, and it showed a lot of glass blowing, and I was like, wow, that's super cool, man. Like, I really liked the look of it, and I've always drawn pictures, so I was intrigued, and I found a local glass studio not too far from my house. I took an intro class and just kind of ran with it, man. Been blowing glass for about 7 years now, I think, which is crazy to think about. All right, so we got our rim. We've closed the hole a little more. I'm going to take my tweezers, and so the hot glass doesn't stick to the metal tools, I'm going to get it nice and hot, and I'm going to soak these. I got a little bar of beeswax down here. None of your beeswax. Is the equipment pretty pricey? It is, man. So many questions. Sorry, you're not. Don't be sorry, pal. I'll happily answer all the questions. Let me just finish this up real quick, and I'll delve more into that. Because I want to get all the edges hot. I'm trying to get any creases that I created by adding that little lip of glass. Then I'm going to take this and kind of just widen out the hole, baby. None of this sounds safe for the workplace. Too much. Honestly, I don't know if this even helped much either. It was a little thinner on the top, which is okay. If I had more materials, would have been a little bit better, but we got what we got, and it's still going to be a pretty cool little purple Christmas ornament. But yeah, man, the equipment's quite expensive if you want to set up at your house like I have. My torch was like almost $2,000, and my kiln was, I think, 800 or so, maybe more. Depends on what you get. Mine's pretty small, pretty simple. So about 3K starting cost, to be honest. And then you have to learn how everything works too. So it's a process. All right, we're gonna pop this back in the kiln though, get it nice and warm. And then we're gonna add this as the loop so we can pop it on the tree. Oh, I'm gonna take a second too. Plus the glass, yeah, everything. It's not cheap to run by any means. I want to try to put this bad boy back together. Yeah, so I just ordered some glass and I really didn't get much color at all, and it was like 150. And then you have to refill your propane and your oxygen. And if you don't have an oxygen tank either, then you either have to rent one and pay for that by the month, or you have to buy one, which is like 300 as well. And then to fill it up, to fill both my tanks, it's not terrible. It's probably about maybe 80, $90. So it takes quite a bit to keep this show rolling. That's why I haven't made as much as I used to, because it's been tough. It's been tougher to sell things. I used to sell my art a lot more, but I understand, man. Times are tough, and it's not necessarily a priority to a lot of people. So it's been more difficult, for sure. Sheesh, it's quite hot. I'm gonna have to get some. I'm gonna refill my water finally, though. Yeah, yeah. I think having your own setup will save you money over time in general. Just since, because I paid. I mean, it's almost kind of close, right? But over the long run, it's definitely cheaper and more efficient and less time constraints to have it at my house, because I'm pretty much just paying for my gases and my supplies. If I went to a studio, less rules. Oh man, I actually have no pants on right now. I'm fully cheeked out on the torch, and you can't do that at the Glass Studios. uh, um, but yeah, for the studio cost, it's around like, I want to say, I think about 150 to 200 a week, and then you just have the extra pressure of having to work on all those days and trying to get stuff done, and then going there and all that. But I think that's if you have your own torch as well. Some of them will cost a little more if you're using their equipment, depending on it. So I think if you're going to a studio, around 400 to 500 a month And this, I mean, I'm pretty much just paying for my gases, and I can use it when I want. Pants, yeah, dude. You know, I'm chilling. I'm having a good time. I like that lower breeze. And you can do that. You can hang ham in your own studio, and no one's going to say anything. And I don't have to wear shoes. I'm not scared. I ain't afraid of no molten glass. Oh yeah, for sure, man. It's a lot better in that sense as well, because whenever I'm inspired, or if I have an order and want to make something, bang, I can get it done. Otherwise, I'm like renting space, and it's hard to get the most out of every day. You know, if it's by the week or by the month, then you're kind of limited, and you get burnt out pretty quick working in a studio, because it's hard to want to take days off. You're like, I'm paying for this. It's my money here. All right, 2 seconds. I'm going to refill my water, and then we're going to finish off this little warm-up glass ornament. And then, I got to decide what I want to do next. Either make something new. I was thinking about doing a little pumpkin skull, or just a little pumpkin for the Ween season. Or we can work on putting the cobra skeleton back together, since the tragic accident where it fell out of the kiln. Makes sense. You think it's really about the pants? It's mostly about the pants. You know, I like being comfortable in the studio. Butt naked glass blowing streams on the Patreon. Just kidding. I don't have Patreon. But I mean, if there's interest, what up, Crappy? How you doing, big boss? Good to see you. Make you a twig? Easy. Done. There you go. Bang! All right, 2 seconds though. I'm gonna fill up my water, get a little hydration, and we're gonna get back to working on some cool glass stuff. All right, 2 seconds. What up? Ah, yes. Oh, I didn't mention before too, Nomad, ventilation. You gotta have a extractor fan basically to suck out all the bad shit. You know, when you're blowing, it's gotta be sucking, or it can potentially have fumes in the air. What up, Viceroy? You doing, boss? Oh, sorry, my mic's down here. I don't know how quiet I am. Do you hear the stuff about the ventilation? Or was it too quiet? Could hear? Okay, rad ass. You finna blow. I'm finna blow. I got the float. No free stuff. Not today. Ah, yes. Yeah, it is true. To have the space, um, a garage is solid. You can do it in a shed, but there's not much backyard action in Japan either, though, huh? Probably the best bet if I were to move there and try to set up a studio, um, maybe just find a place to rent some space, like a small area. Well, if you did it in the shed, you'd still have to have ventilation. You'd need a vent hood. Yeah, just do it. You blow glass outside. Get the extension cords, plug your kiln in. Yeah, I mean, like if you don't have a garage, but you can dedicate a room that has like maybe a smaller room in the household, and you could set up your vents and have everything, and then make sure everything's flame proof. Of course, you don't want to light your damn house on fire, but it could work too. Well, with the ventilation, it's it's pretty loud, so I have it either really I have it really low. It's not doing as much at the moment, and it's not a great setup because if I have it on full blast here, it's probably it's too close. Can you hear me? Are we okay? But yeah, when it's on full blast here, it's pretty damn loud. We have liftoff. Greetings, passengers. We're on the Kerm UFO to nowhere, and we're gonna be making some cool stuff. But yeah, that's why I don't have it on all the way. It's on a mega low. Mega lows suck. But actually, if it's too hot or too cold, pretty much just what you'd expect. If it's too cold, the ambient temperature can be bad for the glass and it can easily crack. Plus, it's not very comfortable to be in the studio with that happening. Same thing if it's too hot, you're dripping. You're dripping and ripping. All right, let's finish off this little warm up Christmas ornament. Sheesh. How we doing though, crappy Viceroy? How we feeling, fellas? All right. Oh yeah, dude. That's why I hit I gotta hit the butt naked glass blowing strat. No pants for success. Nah, it's tough. In summer it's tough because this bad boy, if it's on full blast, it's like 3,000 degrees. And then the kiln, the annealing temperature of glass is 1050. So this whole hot box is always doing the damn thing too. Doing okay, slowly getting the pest control finish. Nice, mate. Nice, nice. Little RuneScape action. All right, let's finish this off, and then I gotta decide what I'm gonna do next. Definitely a colder evening tonight, though. So for anyone who just got here, I'm just making a little purple Christmas ornament. I'm gonna add the loop so it can hang on the Christmas tree. All right, we got to decide though on the Halloween outfit for the Ween stream. Should I get the green V-neck and go full shaggy? All right, so you got to get these the exact same temperature. And then seal it on both sides and kind of bend it over. Bend it over. Yes. Okay. Got to get the V-neck then. So I'm going to get this hot. Nice medium heat. You don't want it flopping all over the place. And I'm going to kind of pull it out. And bring it around town. All right, well, looks like I got to go hunting for a green V-neck. And I might have to shave my facial hair in a weird fashion. Why, come on, Scoop. We got to do a Ween stream. I got to rewatch all the movies and the show. I got to dial in the voice. Actually, I'm gonna be you, Nomad. I'm gonna be you for Halloween. I'll get a white hat, and I'll just be like, "Hello, friends. I'm Nomadic Gaijin, streamer, voice actor, cool guy in Japan." All right, so I'm just gonna keep bending that round. Evil Shaggy with the stash. These are all good options. It's pretty good, right? Nailed it. Oh man, well, I'm not on my computer at the moment, but anyone that doesn't follow Mr. Nomadic Gaijin, give him a blast. Super cool dude. Great streamer. Does a lot of IRL in Japan content. You've been out there for what, 19 years now? Something like that? If my memory serves me correct. And also does some gaming streams and just a rad dude. All right, so now I got this bent around. I'm just gonna seal it into the other side. Almost 19? Oh, 18. The impressions. Hello, friends. They call me Dr. Nomad. All right, now I'm going to use the mini torch and just make sure these seals are super fluid. Because if you don't, pretty much if you don't have a fluid seal and there's like a crease or a crack or just like a little gap between the glass, then once you reheat that, it can cause it to crack. So I'm going to just warm up the other side because I don't know how well that's sealed in either. And then I'm going to go in with the mini torch and make sure it's a nice fluid seal. Heck yeah, though, buddy. Glad you finally made it to one of the glass streams. To be honest, I haven't done one in like a month and a half or two. I've been slacking. But I'm going to try to bring them back for pretty much every Tuesday and every Thursday, weather permitting. Heck yeah, man. YouTube voice, right? Yeah, I'm trying to do these more often, especially leading up to, with the weather cooling down. I'm going to try to maximize and get as many as I can in. Because in summer, I was like, it's too hot to be in the studio. And then a couple months, I'm going to be like, it's too cold to be in the studio. So I'm going to try to do as many as I can. All right, so now I'm just going to stretch that out. Now I know both ends are sufficiently melted in. I'm just going to pull out this loop side and give it a little stretch. Oh, hell yeah, man. Sounds cool. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm glad everyone's finding everyone who hasn't seen it has been able to catch one. All right, I'm gonna make that kind of a U-bend shape and then heat it up. Oh, unmatched. Unmatched pull-out game, boss. I'm 30. And I've got no kids. Incredible. You're not in the bath, are you, no, man? Are you pulling a cameraman Paul experience on me right now? Ah, yes. Kerm stream in the bath. All right, so we got the loop on now. Just started off simple. Made a little purple glass ornament. Oh, it's 10 a.m.? Sheesh. Okay, yeah, no, I totally forget about the time difference. Could be the morning bath. All right, this song is creeping me out. We're going to re-rack the playlist. Not a fan of that. Understandable, though. All right, so we got this all ready to rock. Nice little purple Christmas ornament. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Maybe a gift for the family or a friend. Just a fun little warm-up project. I'm going to heat the end up. Give it a little wiggle. And just pull off this small handle. Usually you're streaming now, you're taking it easy. I understand that, man. I understand that. Streaming's a surprisingly taxing activity. Like, for anyone out there that doesn't stream, it's I know it might seem just just talking to a camera or playing some games for a couple hours, but if you put your all into it, like I know I do and I know Nomad does, then it can be a lot. All right, just pulling that little tip off. Tip to tipper. You want an ornament? Well, hey man, let me know. Let me know, big cheese. Okay, see, the only thing now though is I'm gonna have to try to give it a little poke. A little poke from the top. Because when I reheated that bottom, it caused it to go just like a tiny bit flat. I'm just give it a little boop. All right, first little project of the day. Just a little purple Christmas ornament, something simple, something to get warmed up with and have a good old time. Put that in the kiln. And bang! She's done. All right. Up next, though, I got a few ideas. Maybe I'll let all of you decide. You love when you have a guest and afterwards they're super exhausted and they're like, how the hell did you do that? Right? They jump in, they're just like, yo, this will be easy, man. No sweat. Just, especially your streams, they're like, oh, 8 hours. Please, let me rest. Let me chill. Do you find that gaming streams can almost be more difficult than like long gaming streams, like 8+ hours? Do you find sometimes they can be more difficult than doing IRL since you're not like as active and actually like walking around getting into activities? What up, OP? How you doing? What did you say? Wagon Hogmon? What up? Wagon Wheel? Oh, Wagwan. I got you. I read it as wagon. Well, Wagwan, wagon wheel. How you doing, buddy? You feeling any better? You said you were having some feeling sick the other day. Hopefully you're back in action. Back in commission. Yeah, but you're getting used to it. Understandable, man. I mean, even with the game streams, I have done 11-hour ones, but it depends what the activity is. Like, I kind of prefer doing something. Like, if I am just playing a game, I usually want to keep it short and sweet, like 5 hours max. You know, I'm not Pete. I'm not you. Everyone will leave before I'm done if I do like an 11-hour stream. Well, not everyone, but you know what I'm saying. With the ADHD sitting there for a long time, yeah, I understand that too, man. I definitely understand that. Oh, can I scroll up? Hold on, let me try to scroll up on the chatter there. I know, yeah, sitting in one spot for ages can be quite taxing. Appreciate the lurk, crappy mate. Went fishing after work. You got 2 big old bass. Oh, damn it. There we go. Wait, you missed 2 topwater blow-ups from some giant bass. Damn it. Damn it, bud. It's unfortunate. Early game streams for you. 1-person turkey talking to the person. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Me too. Me too. Depending on what I'm doing. I mean, I think it's a good time. I try to not go too long without saying something, even if it's useless yammering. Yeah, man, that's unfortunate. Well, hey, at least you got something. I haven't been out to fish in a minute. Yes. Little hydration station. I might try to grab, if you're doing a run through of one game. Yo, OP. Appreciate the gifterino, my man. Thank you so much, buddy. Nomad, you're locked in for the ad-free. Thank you, bud. I appreciate that. I don't have my alerts or any of my sounds, but I can improvise. Yeah, buddy! Yeah! Lightweight, baby! Go! That's pretty much what my alert sound is. But we got the bare bones set up at the moment. When I do the glass streams, it's pretty much just on the phone. And it is starting to get a little nippy. Little nippy on my nippies. Nah, appreciate you, man. Much love, geezer. Okay. For the next project, anyone want to see something specific? Or should I just fly by the seam of my ass? Or is it pants? I think it's pants. Getting cold down there for once? Oh, wow. Oh, no. High 70s and low 80s. Whatever will I do? It's like, I think it's like 40 here right now already. Just saying. It's ass? Okay, I thought it was ass. Pretty positive. Yeah, let me check the temperature right now. It's supposed to be, the sun went down now too, so it might even be like 38. So might be a little bit of shorter stream in the glass studio tonight, but I'm glad we can make it happen. All right, should I make a glass dong? Is that what everyone wants? Because I'll do it. Can I do that? Or would that be against TOS or whatever? Against the protocol. You going up to Central Florida for the next few days? No, a little colder up there. Yeah, it'll be it'll be a hogged out hog. I might go simple. I was thinking about doing a little pumpkin. Glass dong is okay if it's art. All right, we won't go too veiny. Pumpkin's definitely safer. I could do a pumpkin nutsack on a spooky ghost that has a particular shape. Do a skull? I could do a skull. Let's just do, yes, just do a clear, solid skull. That'll be easy operation. I can do a pumpkin skull, but this orange I have, orange isn't very forgiving. You have to work it quite slow or it can boil out, bubble up a little bit. The Halloween. An jack-o'-lantern. Yeah, I did on my Instagram. I made a pumpkin skull a while ago. The jalapeno. All right, yeah, let's do it. I got a little bit of orange here. Nope, that's yellow. A little bit of orange here. So this will look very red once it goes into the flambe. So don't be confused. Once it cools down, it'll go back to orange. All right, let's do it. Let's do a pumpkin skull. You look like an anime character with my goggles on? I mean, I'll take it, dude. Oh, when they're on my forehead? I can, yeah, like the dude from Digimon. I'll rock him up here. This isn't even a fraction of my glass-blowing power. Let me take my ankle weights off, and I'll show you a real battle. Has anyone played that new Digimon game? I think they just came out with something kind of recently. I feel, man, Digimon didn't get enough credit. Pokemon's still going. They've fully run out of ideas. They're making ice cream cones and lamp Pokemon now. Like, come on, just tell us your ideas. Stop it. You should have ended after a certain generation. But yeah, Digimon didn't get its run it deserved. I feel like it was too short-lived. All right, so we're gonna pull out a little end piece here. We're gonna use it to draw the details on the skull. Oh, the new game. Sorry, my chat's quite small on the phone as well. So if I missed something, I apologize. For sure, man. That's what I'm saying. They really missed the mark. Like, they should have stopped after Gen 4. Saved themselves. They're just like, you know what? Great idea. Brain blast. Let's make a kitchen knife, and we'll call him Knifeon. Yeah, that's perfect. Print it. Run it. I love it. That's a accurate brainstorming sesh. At the Pokemon studio. Me either, man. I played a little bit of Pokemon Go a few years ago. But other than that, I haven't kept up with anything. Like, actual game, I really only played Pokemon Stadium and on the Game Boy Color. I haven't really been super inclined to play any of the new ones. All right, so we get this nice little thin bit we can draw the details on. And then I'm going to attach this to another handle. We're going to gather it down into ball formation. Sphere formation, sorry. And then we're going to get rocking on this pumpkin. You got to shower and run to the dojo. Hey, appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Have a good time at the dojo, Viceroy. Enjoy. Appreciate you stopping in. You check later? Yeah, man. Yeah, buddy. Peep in later for the full finished project. It is getting a little chilly-willy in the studio right now, though. OP, can you check the temperature for me? If you wouldn't mind, sir. The current temp here. Thank you, Bank. Because, yeah, maybe I'm hoping to do at least 3 hours. But if it gets super duper cold, maybe just like 2.5. Okay, so you have to really be careful. I just heated the other end, and if I go too far on one side, it's gonna burn the nips out of me. But got that sealed up on a little handle. Now I can gather it all back and start going for our pumpkin shape. It's 37. Dang. Yeah, getting pretty cold. Okay, so now we've got that attached up. We're gonna do what's called a gather, where essentially you just keep heating the end up until it starts to gather up into like a ball formation. Have to be ice fishing season. I know, man. I don't have any of my ice fishing gear either. I might buy just like a cheap rod and a hand auger and maybe like a cheap shelter or something. But at the same time, I really don't want to do that until the local spots have ice, because I'm not driving. I'm not driving no hour again to the early ice places that I went to last year. Yeah, I'll have to get on the old Amazon, see if I can find a deal. But I would like to do ice fishing stream or two. So maybe when the local spots have a little thickness with the quickness, I can do that. Oh yeah, I could definitely find a cheap shelter. I could probably find a combo for like 20, 30 bucks. Ah, I wish I saved at least my combos and sold the rest of my ice gear. But I mean, with the auger, a single rod, I probably have to buy other stuff too. I think I gave away everything when I sold it. But maybe 100 and could probably get away with like 150 bucks. Just grab an ugly stick. Did it really just censor ugly stick? I'm not an ugly stick. I'm a real boy. That's true though. Could definitely do that. All right, we're just slowly gathering this up. The thing with most oranges, and there's certain colors called cadmiums, that they're quite sensitive, as am I. But you got to heat them quite low and slow and with a more oxidizing flame. So what that means is it essentially just has more oxygen in the mix. So you see, I adjust the left knobs. Pull the lever, Kronk. Then it adds more oxygen. If I do the right ones, it makes it more bushy and fluffy and wider, and it has more propane in it. So you got an oxidizing flame, which has more oxygen, and then you have a reducing flame, which has more propane. And then you have a neutral, which is kind of a nice even mix between the two. It's kind of a slow process, to be honest, but we're making headway. The ball is starting to ball. It's just difficult with these colors because they're more sensitive. They have a boiling point that's quicker. So if you don't work them really slow and in a cooler flame further back, then they can just get all nasty on the edges. A lot of scum and scuzz and boils, you know what I mean? Fizzle, scuzz. Nobody wants the scuzz. What you can also do with certain colors, though, you can take a thicker chunk, like some of this 12 mil solid, and you can stripe the outside of it with the color and then melt it all in. If you want something, the only thing with that is it depends what you're doing. Because once you condense it down, depending on, like, if it's more transparent or more opaque of a color, then it might affect what it is. I potentially could have done it with this orange, but we're just going to go low and slow and gather it up. We got a little bean. The claw. Oh, also, if you see what I'm doing with my other hand, you have to constantly rotate glass on axis. Because if I just stay still, I'll show you, it'll just start slumping, going nutsack on you. And that's just because when it gets to a certain temp, it's malleable. And if you stop rotating, gravity will just do its thing, as it does to all of us over time. Start sagging. Heck yeah, though. Steppin' mate, if you're still out there, hopefully work's going decent for you, boss. And I hope you're, almost done. We'll have to run some, hey, maybe even this eve we can rip a little TOA if you want. Or on stream tomorrow we can do a full shebang. Bilbo Saggins, exactly. Precisely. Yeah, you'd really assume, like, with such a large flame, this wouldn't take as long, but we gotta accrue the mass. So, if you think about it, we gotta make all this thin part into a thickie. Just fluffing it. Fluffing it! I'm getting close to what I want, though. I don't want it to be huge, but we'll go a little more. Yeah, I think it might be a pendant. I've done 2 or 3 of these in the past around Halloween time. And yeah, I've made a few of these little pumpkin skulls. And I often, the green bit on the top, I don't know what they call that, the spout, the dong, the whatever it is. I'll take that and I'll make it look super twisty with some knife lines. And then I'll wrap the back of it around and seal that so you can wear it as well. Yes, the stem. That's it. That's it. The stem. I couldn't remember, man. Yes, the stem. Also, I need to do some squatting here. My knees are. I've been standing stiff. Heck yeah, buddy. Appreciate ya. Yeah, I did want to do some repairs on the Cobra skeleton, but maybe we'll save that for another stream. And we got some new colors in tomorrow. So Thursday, I think I'll be doing another glass stream mule, since we got some new, some fancy new colors to work with. All right, we're getting there. It's a slow process, but we're finally balling out, balling up. Your heels start to hurt? A little bit, a little bit. Mostly just my knees, because I'm standing like, I need to get in a power stance. Get a little more flex. All right, now that's all cool. Mostly shaped out. I can just do the final little bit with the smaller flame here. You don't think you ever saw that piece? Oh, the pumpkin skull? It's quite an older one. But I'm sure if you scroll through my Instaham, you'll see it. I used to make one every Halloween, but I guess I'm getting the tradition back. All right, so I'm not gonna make it. I'm gonna make it a little more of a squat shape. I'm gonna keep rotating this until it cools off. A little more of a squat, because pumpkins, they're not majorly round. I'm going for more of that kind of squat sphere type shape. I think taller guys tend to get more knee pains, so it makes sense. Your heels, yeah, the heels as well. Oh, the cobra skeleton. I posted that as well a while back, but I don't know if you saw the video where it fell apart on my last Torch Tuesday. We still got the rib cage. We still got half of the skull. The top half. Still got to make the bottom jaw. And then I got to reattach this and the back part. Because last Torch Tuesday, I was pulling it out of the kiln and I was like, all right, let's check out all the progress we've made today. And bang, fell on the table. I know why now too. It had a little crack in the back part where I was bridging up to it. Skull looks dope. Appreciate you, buddy. All right, so now we got a little squat shape. I know it looks super red, but it is orange. I'm going to start adding some knife lines. And I'm going to also leave a little face section to add the indentions for the skull. Is it pretty easy to make repairs on glass? On clear? Well, it depends. It depends. It can be, but sometimes certain colors are more forgiving in a way. Clear's not bad, but if it's a color like this that won't show as much through it, problem with clear is if you have an unpolished end and you heat it up too quickly, it can have some marks that are kind of noticeable. I mean, to me at least. All right, so I'm going to take my little curvy knife here. I'm going to get one side super hot, and we're going to make kind of like a little butt crack all the way around to get this pumpkin going. A little crack in the back, you know. So I'm going to pretty much just add these knife lines all the way around till it's more You know, looking pumped up. Yeah, I'm still gonna try to repair it. The only thing is, when I started on last stream, the handle got way. Look how thin that is. It came away from where I needed it to, and it was a little demotivating because I was almost done. But I'm gonna get it back. I'm gonna get it back together, 100%, or at least gonna keep trying.